Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The lighting sucks, my hair looks like shit, and I was not planning on recording. Oh, I look like an Oompa Loompa, I don't like this at all. But I want to talk about something. The topic of work-life balance comes up a lot in our modern day, and I think that older generations automatically just assume that when you say work-life balance, it means you're lazy, you are one of the modern Gen Zers who just doesn't know how to do work and doesn't know how to put their heads down and work into the grindstone, whatever the fuck the phrase is, and sees you as just a less valuable employee, worker, having a lower standard of productivity. I feel like that's how a lot of people see it in the older generations, because a lot of Gen Z seem to be on the same page of okay, yeah, work-life balance is important, which I think is a really good thing. It's very important for our generation to actually show progress in this realm, because it is so important. Work-life balance does not mean that you don't care about your job. It means that you care so much about yourself that you are never going to let your life pass away working a job for your entire life and then look back 30 years from now and say, what did I even do with my life? All I worried about, all I cared about was my job, was working, was stressing about everything that is grand picture, big scale picture. That looks kind of weird. It's just my knee. I have shorts on. Grand scale picture. When you think about, regardless of whether you're religious or spiritual or atheist or whatever, your experience and existence as a human on this planet, like a soul experiencing life, that is something that is infinite. That is what I believe. The experiences that you're collecting right now and the depth to which you can experience emotions, and I don't want to look at my phone right now because it's after 11, which is why I have these on. These are blue light glasses. But anyways, the depth to which you experience emotions and learn and feel things and experience life, that is infinite. That is something that stays with you, and that has value that is incomprehensible to the human brain. And I do think that gratitude's something that a lot of people hear about and they're like, oh my god, just stupid. It sounds like my mom telling me to be grateful for something. But holy crap, the respect that you have when you actually take a second and think oh my god, a lot of what I have and a lot of what I'm experiencing, or a lot of what I've gotten to experience in life, is something that not everyone gets, and it is not permanent. Our lives are temporary. I don't care how long you live. There is a time scale on your life as it is right now. If you believe that we have past lives when we come back to Earth, then yes, sure, you can live again, but it will never be the same. Nothing, no matter what the circumstances beyond this realm, nothing will ever be the same as the exact life that you are experiencing in this present moment right now. So with that, life and your experiences, it's so incredibly valuable. It is so incredibly valuable. I speak a lot on my other channel videos, and I've said this plenty of times on my socials too, that life, the structure of a 9-to-5 job, in the sense of thinking you have to work a normal job where you don't feel lit up, where you feel complacent, where you feel stuck, and you feel this is just what I have to subscribe to because this is what everyone else does and this is good enough, I guess. That level of complacency, settling for that, does yourself so beyond words for a disservice. It does you such a disservice to reduce your life and your quality of life to thinking that you have to stay somewhere that is stagnant, that is not where you want to be, that does not fully align with the potential that you have in your heart and the desires that you want to have or pursue and experience. You do yourself such a disservice by condensing yourself into just an employee for your whole life and working. I also don't want to say this as any diss to my job. I do enjoy my job. I enjoy the work that I do. And it is a big priority to me to have a meaningful quality life outside of work where I don't just feel like I'm constantly waiting for the weekends. A lot of people do that, and I get that because it's hard. After work hours, it does feel short sometimes. The 5 to 9 after 9 to 5 does not always feel long. And let me say too, my job, my specific field, especially starting out early, is more demanding. Like, I have more than 40-hour weeks, like, pretty frequently. It's just a part of my job, and it's a part of the learning, getting used to everything, and doing things like field work and being out. I don't work like a standard, normal, in the office everyday job, which is why my job works really well for me, because I'm a very, like, versatile person, and I do not like sitting still. The stagnancy for me and, like, the complacency would be, like, stuck in this building 40 hours a week in this AC cubicle doing nothing to really contribute to the world. Like, that, oh my god, that is literally my worst nightmare. That is my worst nightmare. And I've experienced that before. No shade, but I've experienced that before. Did not work for me. So now I shifted and found a job that actually fits. But all that to say, when you settle for thinking that, like, your 9 to 5 has to be your life and you have to commit so hard to it and, like, lose yourself in doing that, oh my god, that is not where you want to be. That's not where I want anyone to be. So when someone says work-life balance, I think we have lost connection to how important that actually is. Because if you just, the whole thing that spurred this video and me talking when I look like a rat is seeing a post today about people just, people saying, you know, when you're in high school, you're like, oh, once we graduate. When you're in college, oh, once we get a stable job. When you're 5 years out, oh, once I have more time off of work. Once the kids are older. Once I retire. And then you suddenly are older, not as capable of doing things that you were when you were young. Like, you have a bunch more money, but, like, regrets for what you didn't experience because you sacrificed so much of your life and time and energy for your work. The work and the 9 to 5 and just the general more, like, corporate-y structure, you could love your work too, like, and still separate. Like, work in and of itself is something that is not nearly as, like, indescribably, infinitely, undeniably valuable as the experiences you get to have in your human real life with other people. Like, when I think of the experiences that make you feel so good in your life, that make you feel, like, just so alive, is just, like, having quality time with your friends. Like, you know those times where you have, like a fire with, like, a small group of friends, and you guys are just, like, recounting memories, or just, I don't know, someone's doing something stupid, and you're just, like, it's just such a good energy, such a good vibe, you guys are having a good time, like, you're just, when you are just, like, basking in the presence of other people who you love so much and you love being around, that is something I feel like is a good example of, like, it just gives you so much energy and life. Like, those are the things that you grow old and look back on and say, holy shit, I missed that. Like, oh, I wish that I connected with my friends more. Traveling the world, having experiences that you can't just, like, go back in time to have, or that aren't going to be the same when you're older. I think Higher Up Wellness, Michael Smoak, I don't know how to say his last name, was talking about this, where, like, no, it was someone else, Brian Lubin, I don't know, I follow a lot of people on Instagram, but a guy was talking about how he heard advice from an older person saying that, like, some experiences expire, like, the time that you can experience them expires, as in your age, and traveling's one of them. As I said a little earlier, you can get to be older, retired, have a bunch of money. You're not of the physical ability that you were when you were 25 or 23 or 20 or whatever it is. Like, even 30s and 40s, like, you're not. We naturally, over time, are going to change and, like, what we're going to be physically capable of. Yes, you can take really good care of yourself and it can last longer and you can travel more in your 60s and 70s, etc. But the average person probably isn't doing that to the extent that would leave them having the same quality of experience when you're older as you are when you're younger. Like, the time when you were, like, 20s and on, I mean, obviously before that too, but that's more, like, you know, probably stuck in high school and college, etc. That time is so precious and invaluable, and I just feel like it's such a common trait of our world for people to grow through it, get past it, work down their entire lives through that, and, like, say no to, like, traveling or opportunities for money or whatever, or, like, a lack of resources or anything. just to be grown up past that, have infinitely more responsibilities, and say, shit, why the fuck did I do that? Regret is something that I fear so deeply. Like, the thought of having regret for how I lived my life and the things that I did not do and did not take chances on, or the opportunities that I did not take, or the things that I did not spend money on because I was scared that it wouldn't come back, that it wasn't the right time, that I shouldn't be doing this, or insert whatever fear. Like, that truly does drive my decisions moving forward, especially when I am feeling fearful. Because, like, so many things you can just say fuck it to. Obviously, in a responsible way, more or less. You're not going to drain your entire bank account to go frolicking in the woods and then have absolutely no plan for how you're going to survive after. But I just see it so big picture. And things like asking for time off work, or making trips and travel work even with little money, or like getting flexible with it, or taking time for your friends and like the extra 5 minutes it takes to remember to text someone. Those experiences are something that is so precious and valuable to your highest quality of life. And sacrificing those, maybe without even realizing how important they are, until you regret them in your future, and you look back and say, shit, why did I do that? I wish I had this. I wish I talked to my friends more. I wish I traveled more. I wish I did that. Think about those things that you're going to be saying, I wish I did this, and just do them now. So you're not saying, I wish I did this, because we can get so wrapped up in these menial problems. I get so wrapped up in it. Even small stresses with like work reports, or random things with friendships, or things that come up, or social media, or whatever it is. I get so stressed about it. And then when you take a step back and think about it, it's like, no, that's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to be thinking about. Like, I can see this in my mind. It's not the right thing to be thinking about. The right, like, that's just off track from what actually really freaking matters. Which is like living a life where you feel like you are free to enjoy yourself and build connections with other people, and like have those relationships that you love with others, like your people, your family, your friends. Like nourishing those, experiencing those, having times in life where you literally just get to exist and rest and like just feel the pleasure of just being alive. That is soulful medicine. Like, that is genuinely so needed in our society. If you want to call that soulful medicine, we are very fucking sick. We are very sick in a lot of ways, and disconnected from this idea that life is so precious, and the things that truly matter oftentimes are not things that you realize matter until too late, when you have already prioritized all these other menial things before it, just because in the moment you were so stressed out about it, and you can't zoom out to the bigger picture when these small stresses consume your life. Like, that just... Oh my god, guys, I don't know. I just wish I could hammer it into the heads of every single human being that, like, having those regrets, I know, I can already, like, imagine, is something that would just eat you alive. Because how, like, so holy crap, I would not wish on my, like, worst enemy the feeling of, like, getting to further along in your life, in the end of your life, looking back and realizing that, like, the one shot you had to be living in this exact way that you are now, with the people in your life and the opportunities you had available to you, and like the skills you have and who you are as a person, and like the role you play in this world, looking back on that and thinking that you did not do things that you know you wish you would have done based on fear and worrying about, like, your 9-to-5 job. Oh my god. Oh, this is horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I never want anyone to stray from thinking about that and realizing that, especially going about the modern day where we have about 500 million different inputs of stimuli a day, and our brains are constantly running, and we barely have time to rest and slow down. We just don't make space for it. We don't make time for it. We find other things to prioritize over just peace and rest and soulful connections and just enjoying our lives. Like, nothing is more important than that. So, to the boomers and millennials or whoever the fuck, I don't even know the generations. Like, I don't know the order. I don't care. But to anyone who thinks that, like, the work-life balance just automatically means that you are a less competent human being and you don't care about being productive, like, Jesus Christ, like, oh my God, there's so much more to it. There's so much more. And what a freaking weakness it is to not see just how valuable your own life is until it's already gone too far and it's too late. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I just needed to get this out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, because these are the thoughts that actively run through my mind on a relatively regular basis. And when they come through, they come through. This setup is honestly the same as my first YouTube video where I talked about post-grad despair, which was it was like 10 months ago, I want to say. I think it was October 23rd, 2024. That's bizarre. That's crazy. And also, if you made it to this far in the episode, I'm launching a podcast on Thursday the 28th. Yay! Woo! I finally said I was doing it, or I said I was doing it for so long. I'm finally doing it. I'll probably make a separate small video for it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Go be your most organic selves, and I'm gonna go to bed. Mwah.